Jesus says, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Come to me. Anyone and everyone. From wherever you are, whatever's happened in your life, whatever brokenness you're coming out of, come to me, Jesus says. The kingdom is available and accessible to you. There is no boundaries, there is no borders, there is no barriers, there is no mediator between you and me. Whomsoever will may come to me, Jesus says. All you who are weary and burdened. Are you weary? Are you wore out? Are you tired? Are you just like, I've had enough, I can't do anymore? And are you burdened? Are you carrying something that's heavy, that's crushing you down? Are you burdened for your marriage? Burdened for a child? Burdened for your finances or your job or your future? Burdened for your body? Sometimes it takes being weary and burdened to get to the end of ourselves and make us desperate enough to say, Jesus, I need to come to you because I have no other option. And I will give you rest. Rest is found only in Jesus. Rest doesn't come from a nap, a vacation, or medicine. It comes from Jesus. Only he has the power, the ability, and the authority, the right to give you rest. And he says, I will give it to you. It's a gift. Rest is a gift. And the more we acknowledge how exhausted the world actually is, the more we realize it is a gift that God gives us. And every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father of heavenly lights. It's rest. And rest is not the absence of conflict or chaos in the circumstances of our life. It's the presence of peace within our soul. We think rest is God stopping all of this out here. No. Rest is God stopping all of this in here. Peace I give to you. My peace I leave with you. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart, for I have overcome the world. Rest is the righteousness, peace, and joy of the Spirit of the living God inside of you. Rest is when you know that God is good to you, and that God is good with you. And that is a gift that comes from Jesus. Take my yoke upon you. Yoke is a farming term. It's not a term we're used to using, but they would take two oxen and they would yoke them together, strap them together. And the moment two oxen were yoked together, they would go in the same direction and their power increased dramatically. They could carry very heavy loads without it being hard on them. The moment you yoke yourself to Jesus, one puts 1,000 to flight, two puts 10,000 to flight. Your life instantly becomes stronger, more powerful, more victorious, because what you're saying is, Jesus, I want to go with you. I want to be connected with you. I want to follow you. I want to remain in you. I want to move with you. I want to stop with you. Where you go, I go. When you stop, I stop. I want to yoke myself to your life, Jesus. And the moment you yoke yourself to him, you say, I'm coming to follow you. You've just set in motion. You now have a vision for your life. You now have a path and a way. There are built-in guardrails. There's a dream and a vision that's now set for you, even if you don't have one for yourself. And as you walk with him, your crooked life starts to straighten out. Because if I'm yoked with him, I can't go in a different direction. You ever heard that term, unequally yoked? Two people brought together and they're connected over something, but they're unequally yoked, like they have different visions and values. They pull apart. Yeah, that's an exhausting way to live. And when we try to say, I'm a follower of Jesus, but I live like the world, I do my own thing, I go in this direction, Jesus speed up, Jesus slow down, we exhaust ourselves. And to take his yoke upon you, you have to first take off the yoke of religion. You have to take off the yoke of self. You have to take off the yoke of the world so that you can be free to take his yoke upon you and learn from him. He wants to be your teacher. He literally wants to be your teacher. If you get nothing else out of this series, I hope you grab that concept, that he says, come be my disciple. I will train you to be like me. I will teach you. I will teach you how to have mental freedom. I will teach you how to be a good husband. I'll teach you how to be a great student. I'll teach you how to be a great worker. I will teach you how to do the impossible. I will teach you how to go through the valley of the shadow of death and come out on the other side and find green pastures. Let me be your teacher. Learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. In one of the only places in the Bible where God straight up defines his heart for us, he says it's gentle and humble. Gentle. It's not violent. It's not harsh. God's heart is not angry, it is not resentful, it is not judgmental, he is not edgy, he is not angry, he is not mean. It's soft, it's kind, it's compassionate and forgiving, and it's humble. He's submitted and surrendered. He's dependent. He's honest, he's vulnerable, he's authentic, he's real. He's not prideful and narcissistic and selfish. No, he's a servant and he is very secure in who he is. That's his heart. And the Bible tells us above all else, guard your, for it is the wellspring of life. Well, if God's heart is gentle and humble, then everything that's in his heart that flows from his heart is gentle and humble. Your mouth speaks out of the overflow of your heart. That means then that everything God says to you is gentle and humble.